No! I need to jump.
Shark the thing! Shock it!
Oh, he attacked me. He's returned. Hey, welcome back everyone to another episode of Mr. Neighbor vs. the World. Today I will be talking about the things that truly stood out to me, both good and bad, about the game Content Warning. Now, a little bit of background about the game before we get started. Content Warning is a content creation, horror simulations type thing. You can play with up to 3 friends or you can play alone. Basically, the whole premise of the game, you have 3-day quotas where you have to meet a certain view amount, and you go into this place called the old world. You film monsters and old creepy things that jump out at you and everything, and you do this with your friends. You come back, you upload the video to SpookyTube, and hopefully you get views, and that allows you to progress to the next 3-day increment, which would then send you to a new area. So what really stood out to me is the fact that if you're into content creation, this game is actually a decent exercise for you to improve on improv and looking for what the audience wants to see and what they react to. They're programmed to look for very specific things here in this game, as I'm about to show you right now. As you see, if you record an apple, they'll talk about the apple. If you record a diving bell, they'll talk about the diving bell. And also when you find stuff down in the old world, this was just a quick demonstration, but they'll talk about bones, they'll talk about certain monsters. And so as I was playing the game, the audience responds to certain things, and you need to pick up on what the audience responds to. And if they're always talking about a certain thing, then you kind of want to make sure you talk about that or implement that in your videos. And I just thought that was it was just interesting to realize. And maybe it's super obvious and I should have known that, and I kind of do know that, but it makes it more apparent in this game because you have a real audience that reacts to whatever you're doing in the game. We got a bone to pick with you. And aside from that, this game also, it really builds on you and your friendships, your relationships with your friends, and how good your improv is. Would you like some ribs? But depending on what you guys can say, how much you guys goof around, and just the way you are with your friends. Those help! Help!
Oh, I can't do anything. I'm sorry. I must go.
No, let's run.
They sucked them dry.
That's what really carries this, and we already vibe pretty well, but since we were trying to actually make a channel work, we were trying to really work on our jokes, don't get ahead of yourself, and other stuff, and trying to find monsters and just do things that were funny so that we can both have a good time but also make better videos in the game. I think we did improve from the beginning to later on as we started, experimenting, just having fun and doing different things in the game. Recording.
He died.
But with that being said, this game, it does get a little repetitive. Don't get a ribs with yourself. And it's very much carried on you and your friends and how you play the game and how goofy it is. And you do have the whole horror aspect, things jumping out at you. Oh! What's that? Oh my god, I fell. Oh my god, it's a baby! And the areas are different, so it does have some variety and stuff to it, but for the most part, it's the same sort of, you make a video, well, you get your friends together, you get the items or whatever, and you jump down here into the old world, and you make the video. The monsters, though, I was expecting different monsters when you move to a new area after you hit your quota, but the thing is, the monsters are the same, but randomly they'll jump out. There's some, they don't all appear in the same spot, all at the same time, all in the same area, and so there were some that I saw a lot less frequently than others. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's got me! Let me go!
I don't know what to do.
Let me go! Get off of me! I'm trying to jump. But it is fun finding new objects, new monsters, going to different areas, specifically finding new sections after you hit your view quota in the 3 days. And I think it's fun hitting that and improving your videos, because as we were playing, we were getting more views after failing a couple of times. And so, we were having more fun with it, but it's just, again, and it's not the worst thing ever, But this game heavily relies on you and how you play and how you vibe with your friends. I don't know how fun it would be with randoms, because if you don't have friends online, you can jump into a random lobby. There's in-game chat, but if you don't really vibe with them or whatever, it's going to be kind of weird. And just in general, I don't think it would be as fun as you with your friends. And so in conclusion, I would say this game is pretty worth. It's only $8, so it's pretty cheap. Even if you were to do one session of, a few hours and you never touch it again, it's not gonna break the bank. You're not paying 60, it's not a full AAA title that you're paying a ton of money for. If it's on sale, even better, but honestly, I think you could get a decent amount of hours. I played about 6 hours with my friend, and it was just only my friend Deadman, because nobody else was on at the time. But I can definitely see myself coming back, even though I mostly know the whole gameplay loop and what to look for and what to do. It would be even more fun with 2, 3, 4 friends. Well, I mean, I'd be the fourth, but the more friends, the funner it would be, I think. And although the areas and the monsters are pretty much the same every single time, the way they jump out and the pacing, I don't know about the pacing, the spontaneity of the monsters coming out, the amount that come out, and what your friends and you would say when they do come out, it makes it feel like a new adventure every single time you take a dive. So even if you're not a content creator or anything, I think this is a fun group game to play because it's inexpensive and it's something that you can just turn on, play real quick for a bit, and just have fun with it. It's super random, improv, spontaneous. It's a fun game. I think it's worth it.
What we faced down there wasn't great. And what I'm doing with this apple isn't any better. But we made it to live another day.